What up, gang? What up, squad? It's your boy, Are You Serious? The realest, the coolest, the trillest young king. Only two clever men we speak. Welcome everyone to Let Banger, gang. We got NBA legends explain how good Mr. Larry Bird actually was, man. They're like, bro, this dude was crazy. Crazy enough, right? Listen to this story real quick. Now, I was at work, and there was a young cat that works there. His name is Desmond. He's like 26, 27. Anyway, I've been asking people lately, like, how good, like, when I ask him, like, hey, do you know anything about Larry Bird? Like, how good was he? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just to see if people knew that he was damn near a god on the court. You know what I'm saying? Knock on wood, God know he the only one God. I said a god on the court. Now, a lot of people were like, oh man, he was fake decent. You know what I'm saying? He was nice. You know, he was up there, right? Him and Magic. All they really could say was him and Magic, but they wouldn't explain how good he was. Anyway, I said, Desmond, how good was Larry Bird, bro? Like, do you know? That boy put his phone down, face down. He always in his phone like that young people do. He put his phone down and was like, that dude was the nicest, the coldest mother past, you know, he said white boys, y'all like, forgive me. That's what he said. I'm going off what he said. White boys that ever touch a basketball. Now I know race don't got nothing to do with it. Don't hit me up in the comment section. I'm just saying he said he was a great passer, shooter, everything. And I'm like, bro, you 26, 27, and you know how great Larry Bird was? He said, bro, how you don't? I was like, how many people, y'all do the same? Go around your job, wherever you at, go around and see if anybody know exactly how good Larry Bird was. Or will they just keep talking about him and Magic? You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know, right? Now, we're going to hop into this, man. I'm sorry for the long story time. I just wanted to get that out there. You know what I'm saying? But if you're new, subscribe, like the video, comment some more bangers y'all want me to check out, man. We're going to go ahead and hop right into this one, all right, man? Let's get it. All right.
The man from Indiana who gave us an 80s to remember by lighting up a battle between the Celtics and the Lakers will forever be heralded as one of the players who saved basketball. Bird and Magic's coast to...
Now, he did. Now, y'all did put me on game with that, saying that the NBA was about to be in ruins like Dunzo until Larry and Magic came and lit it up. It's just wild that before them it was Wilt Chamberlain. That's pretty much it. I know there was better players, of course, but I'm guessing they were nowhere near touching Larry Bird and Magic. But yeah, they saved the NBA. Y'all better be thankful. Well, I ain't stop.
Post-war and jaw-dropping styles gave the NBA the boost it needed before the emergence of Michael Jordan. But for Bird, with 3 titles, 2 Finals MVPs, and 3 consecutive MVP seasons, some forget just how good he really was. Today we look at NBA players explaining how crazy good Larry Bird was in his prime. Before we get into all that, if you want to win a PS5 with NBA 2K22 and Madden NFL 22 included, leave a like.
Quick question. If you got Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Larry Bird in a 3-point contest, and they're all at their best. I mean, no matter what age. We're talking about if Larry Bird was his best at 25, if Curry was his best at 30, if Klay was his best at 21. At their best, who do y'all got? Klay, Steph, or Larry?
Comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. When speaking of the NBA's greatest of all time, there's always 5 or 10 guys that hit the list. Each carries a different generation. From 50s Bill Russell to 60s Wilt Chamberlain or 70s Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 80s Magic Johnson, 90s Michael Jordan, 2000s Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant, to today's LeBron James. Some get overlooked when they shouldn't. For example, Tim Duncan. And others get left behind because of the lack of titles, like Charles Barkley. What happens when all these players talk of another great as if he was like no other? Larry Bird was lauded by most of these legends, because he was one of them too. He was consistent, tough, offensively masterful, and one of the first big guys to shoot many 3-point shots. LeBron James spoke candidly in an interview about how he was one of the few guys ever to win a 3-point contest with a warm-up shirt on. LeBron referring to the time Larry won his 3rd consecutive 3-point contest. James continued,
for young guys that don't know him, you know, they think of Larry Bird as a jump shooter. But he was so much more than that. He was a passer. He averaged double-digit rebounds.
Damn.
He defended, he took charges. And, you know, he's a straight-up complete basketball player, and me as a small forward.
Later in his career, LeBron adapted his game to the new way of basketball, which was a charge led by the Golden State Warriors in shooting more from behind the arc. LeBron was considered a big guy, but began shooting more threes, and no doubt was heavily influenced by the fact that Larry Legend had already achieved this feat in the 80s. In another interview, when asked about his top 3 of all time, LeBron put Larry Bird firmly in there with MJ and Dr. J.
Ooh, Dr. J?
3. Larry Bird, Dr. J. Michael.
Shaq had a very different opinion on Larry initially. He said he disliked Bird because he was jealous. He thought, how could this regular-looking guy do everything?
Never really had a chance to play against Larry Bird, but I actually used to hate Larry Bird. I hated him.
Shaq soon realized as he grew older and wiser that despite getting the luck of the Irish with the Celtics, Larry made his own luck when it came to shooting the ball.
Yeah, he did.
Shaq, at 7'1", of course, had a completely different style of game at the time. He was built to the max and used brute force to impose his will on the defense and rack up the points, blocks, and rebounds. Shaq was also faster than most give him credit for, particularly in the early part of his career.
Now the Magic with a final shot chance. O'Neal runs the floor, takes it off.
Bird was notoriously slow, which was all the more testament to his skill set, but his basketball IQ was just on a different planet. He once sank a shot from behind the backboard, which O'Neal chalked down to a fluke following a bet with his friend.
He did.
Cam Vincent to Bird, and it goes.
That's the one I saw on the mixtape, and I lost my ish. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, the way he threw that up there behind the, oh man. Oh boy, that shit was wild. Melanie, don't waste all the napkins.
Shaq never really got the chance to play against Larry Bird, which is unfortunate, because I don't think it would have taken him so long to recognize greatness. On the other hand, six-time NBA champion Kareem Abdul-Jabbar battled Bird on numerous occasions while playing with the Showtime Lakers. Bird got the better of him in the 1984 finals, and took another two in a decade that was largely dominated by the purple and gold. Kareem spoke about how Larry might have been the best he had played against, and said,
how good was Bird? I don't think people look at him and think, oh, he's a white guy, slow guy.
The chubby white guy, he wore us out, man. Because he just, this muscle here, the one between his ears, that was his best, because he made the three-pointers, and he had assists and rebounded, steals. He was always at the right place at the right time on the court. One of the great players I had the opportunity to play against.
11-time All-Star Charles Barkley, a regular season MVP during a star-filled 90s, was once asked, "Are you better than Bird?" And he took a long pause before answering, which is very telling.
Am I better than Bird? Oh man, that's a great question.
Most great players respond immediately with how they think they're the best, because you have to have that kind of mentality in order to get to the top. Instead, Barkley answered,
I'm a better rebounder. I'm probably a better defender. He's a better shooter, obviously. A lot of people talk about who's better.
But you have to have that mentality.
No, you know. I think, it's a team game.
I think deep down he knew that Bird was a better player, and for someone as good as Chuck to be stumped like that in an interview shows you how heavy the weight of Larry Bird's legacy was.
Yeah,
former teammate Kevin McHale also references how unreal Bird was to play with. McHale was Bird's right-hand man while playing with Boston, claiming the Sixth Man of the Year award twice, along with 7 All-Star appearances. His story of a specific Detroit game is fascinating. There was a bit of time left on the clock, and we had beaten Detroit, and I just scored 56, and I'm walking off the court, and Larry said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm done." I said, "I'm exhausted. I'm tired." Larry goes, "Don't do it, man, because when I get that hot, I'm not coming out of the game." A week later, he got that hot. He looked at me at about 50 points, and he looked at me and said, "I told you." The pair would go on to win 3 titles together, and McHale would continue to tell stories that live on in Celtics folklore forevermore. A highlight being a throwback from Bird's brutal trash talk at a game in Phoenix.
We have a play, out of bounds play, I'm taking it out, and Larry says, "I'm going to bust off the play, and I'm just going to come out, and I'm going to shoot a 3, and I'm like, "We're down 2. I'm like, "No, don't do that." I'm like, "Let's shoot a 2, please. Go to the hole, try to get fouled. Let's just get into overtime, see if we can't win this game." And Larry says, "No, I'm just going to bust a 3 on him." I'm like, "Oh my gosh." So he tells the Phoenix bench, he tells the coaches, "Yeah, I'm just fixing to bust a 3 on you guys and just go home. I'm tired of this." And
he did.
Ball, jumps out, busts the play, comes out, gets the ball to the slot, shoots the ball. As the ball's in the air, he kind of turns towards the Phoenix bench and yells, "Told you so!"
Larry's mental game was such that he could just open up any team and tear them apart. He would use psychological warfare on a regular basis. Players speak of his toughness not because of his size or physicality, but because
the fact that, come on y'all, be quiet. I'm doing this. Stop. I'm gonna make y'all go upstairs. Come on, let me do this. Guys, I gotta be a parent and do my videos, gang. I apologize for that. But, it's also a testament to his grit, man, because he knew he wasn't the most athletic, he wasn't the most this, whatever, but he knew he can get his job done. You know what I'm saying? You want to get down? He knew he can get the job done. You know what I'm saying? And so he could talk the talk, and he could walk the walk. So Larry just was like a 1 in a million phenomenon, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Because of his mind, he would impose his will on the opposition and could force them off their game just as much as he could switch on his. A mastermind at trash talk tactics, Larry Bird will forever go down in history as one of the greatest trash talkers of all time. And in the 80s, that mattered. With players such as Bill Laimbeer, Hakeem Olajuwon, Magic Johnson, and the eventual emergence of Michael Jordan, Bird did what was necessary in order to gain that mental edge that took him over the top. James Worthy, the 1988 Finals MVP, simply stated that Larry was trash-talking all the time, but the problem was he could back it up.
Yeah, he could back it up.
For sure.
When you're arrogant and you can back it up, you're not arrogant, you're just good. And Larry was good.
Even Worthy's former teammate Magic Johnson spoke on the fact that he had a real dislike for Larry Bird as far back as their college playing days for the very reason that Larry would constantly get the better of him. Johnson claimed in a recent interview during a press build-up for the Broadway play about the pair that after he beat Larry in the NCAA championship game in 1979, the most-watched college basketball game ever, by the time he got to the Lakers, they were 0-8 to the Celtics.
You had to beat the Celtics to beat them because when I got here, we were 0-4, I think 8, and then the first time against the Celtics and then in championship series, and then we lost that in '84. That made us 0-9, I believe.
And later is quoted as saying, "When I played, Larry Bird was the only one I feared." Not bad when hearing it from a five-time champion and one of the true great basketball players of all time. At the 2019 NBA Awards, Johnson received the NBA Lifetime Achievement Award, but it was shared with guess who? Larry Bird. Bird was simply the king of talking the talk, then actually going out and walking the walk.
Listen, man. Retirement is great for you because you've never talked this long.
Dominique Wilkins recounts one of the most famous games where Larry Bird promised Kevin McHale he was going to break McHale's record against Atlanta. Wilkins said,
"He got so hot in that game that you talk about that patented step back. He was doing that step back and he switched it to his left hand 3 separate times in that game. And hit a 3. He was scoring anywhere on the floor that he wanted.
Is this when the bench was giving each other 5?
The bench was giving each other 5.
Imagine how these guys feel like, because I've been in situations like that where like you telling a story that sounds crazy. It sounds like it's unbelievable, but you were there. And you just in awe, amazed, and you just telling the story, like, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to have people really live it. It's crazy.
So did you get in a fight with them after the game? Forget Larry. Did you beat anybody on the bench? Because you giving 5, he's scoring on me.
Every one of those guys got fined $3,000.
Okay.
Larry's legend lives on because of the greats that want to tell them. The reason there's a list of top 10 players who consistently call Bird their toughest opponent or one of their all-time greats is because Larry himself is in that list. Larry is a top 10 baller of all time. His style doesn't matter when his skill sinks the opposition. Because above all, the opposition they'll remember the steals, the shots, the clutch
We gotta
plays.
see that again,
Larry
bro.
is a top 10 baller of all time. His style doesn't matter when his skill sinks the opposition. Because above all, the opposition they'll remember the steals, the shots, the clutch plays, and the trash talk. They'll remember the Bird from the early 80s, not from the early 90s. The Larry who stepped out on the court in his warm-up jacket and made Michael Jordan recoil in envy. MJ announced,
"He ain't took off his top yet." Oh, yeah. I didn't see when he took off his top.
Well, when Bird did, it was all business. He may as well have taken a mop and bucket to the floor because he was about to clean up. He was an impetuous and never-relenting opponent that took the life from anyone who stepped onto his battlefield. The consensus is a resounding stamp of legendary status for the man who will forever go down in the history books as one of the greatest ever players, and arguably the greatest ever Celtic to grace the court. What did you think of Larry Bird in his prime?
Oh man, sheesh, that's I'm mind blown, gang. I'm not gonna lie, that's wild. Hey, what y'all think, man? I know how y'all think. Y'all think Larry Bird is the greatest. He's up there. If he's not numbered, he's up there. That's all I'm gonna say. Top 5 for sure, if not top 3 in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? He's the best I've ever seen, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. No matter if you see Kyrie, LeBron, Magic, you know, Kareem, whatever, you see Larry Bird a little bit before them. You know what I'm saying? Because he could just literally do it all, bro. Damn near. I don't know what his defense was like, because Michael Jordan had great D. Pause. But he's still up there, man. Anyway, man, if y'all new, subscribe, like the video, man. Comment some more bangers y'all want me to check out. If y'all want more Larry, you know what to do. Hit the comment section below and let me know. Until next time, your boy is out. Deuces. Yeah.